Hi guys, I hope you had a great spring break. I'm kind of outside doing this, so I'm probably getting some weird looks from my neighbors, but what's any different than getting weird looks from you guys on a regular basis? Um, so, you may or may not know, we are moving forward with our plan, our closing plans here, and we have decided to do kind of a choice board situation. And no, it was not my idea. Just because I do vocab choice boards doesn't make every choice board my idea. It was something that our superintendent and Mr. Holt and Mrs. Reynolds and Mr. Stiegel, all of them, they looked at, and this was probably our best plan of attack. One, to make sure that everyone kept their work about the same, because we do understand you guys felt overwhelmed by that. We, of course, kind of just last minute had to put a bunch of plans together for 3 weeks. We didn't know what was going to happen. And for some of you, I know that's a lot. And for others of you, it was a piece of cake. You just probably weren't feeling it for a while until the end. So this is our way of making sure that no teacher accidentally overplans and that no teacher underplans, but also that we're still giving you guys what you need to make sure you're up to where you need to be, because no matter what happens, you guys are starting high school in August. So we want to make sure you guys are up there ready to go, ready to jump in when we get back, whatever that's going to look like when we do go back next year. So I'm just kind of stopping in, telling you the instructions, the details, giving it to you in a different way than just reading it. So you will see posted on Google Classroom. I know I'm going to send out an email, or have sent out an email to all of my students and parents. And then if you went to like lunch pickup, you got a packet that has all this information in it. But the first thing I want to tell you guys is, looking at the instructions for you right now, this is just for starting today, April 20th, through May 1st, because as of now, we are going back on May 1st. That could change. Rumor has it they're going to talk about that this coming week. So what they have said is that in order to simplify remote learning, we're going to go forward with our grade level choice boards. So your choice boards, you've got 2 weeks to complete the choice boards currently given to you. So pay attention. It says BMS 8th grade remote learning packet for April 20th to May 1st. So between the 20th and the 1st, you have to complete 4 squares for each class, 2 squares a week. So this week you're going to pick 2 squares from ELA, 2 squares from math, 2 from science, 2 from social studies, and 2 from the Encore choice board. And I'll talk about the Encore choice board in a second. The intention here was that your choice boards don't take any more than 10 to 25 minutes to complete. Now, I will say ELA, that is a little bit different because we are having you guys read. So your reading might take a little bit longer. I would say probably shoot for a chapter or 2 a week, maybe more, depending on how long the book is. But you will need to make sure you are reading, because a lot of these tasks do relate to the story that you are reading. Now, if you get into it, and at least the ones that we've assigned to you, and you're not a fan of it, you can pick a book of your own, and I will put at the end of this what the different books for each teacher are. So the intention here is to not make the task itself take more than 25 minutes, probably about 10 to 25 minutes. You can complete any of the squares. So we've got it listed, and all of your teachers have it listed from modified to kind of average, and then advanced. So if you want to push yourself a little bit on task, do an advanced task. If you want to kind of, things are not okay at home, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm just going to do a couple of the easy ones, the modified ones, that's fine. Those of you who have class with Mrs. Rao, Mr. Rhodes, or with me and Mr. Rhodes, or Mrs. Stamper and Mrs. Beltran, and you're not sure kind of where to go, reach out to us and we'll help you figure that out. But anybody can complete any of the squares. Like I said, you can choose to challenge yourself. You can choose to kind of just stay middle of the range, really. Kind of whichever task feels more interesting to use, how you can choose that. Also on that same page, there is an email list for every single of the different teachers for 8th grade. So you've got your math teachers on there, Mrs. Wilson, Mrs. Pearson, also Mr. Amstutz' emails on there, same for science, social studies, ELA, and then all of the Encore teachers are on there as well. So if you haven't figured out their email address or you haven't been able to get in contact with them, that is one way you may be able to do so. So if you look at our choice board we have for ELA, like I said, we've got 9 activities, some reading things, some writing things, and kind of some more creative things is how we broke it down. And there'll be more videos explaining those specific assignments in detail. One thing I want you guys to note is at the bottom of the ELA Choice Board. It says, if needed, more explanation can be found on your teacher's Google Classroom. Those are the videos. Students will use the assigned text from their teacher if possible, or instead a book of their choice that they have at home. So I know some of you probably are seeing this on your cell phone and you don't have reliable access to a Chromebook or whatever. So if you are not able to get access to the book that you have been assigned, or it's just you're like me and you hate reading books online, you need the physical copy, you can choose a book of your choice. Now don't pick something like Magic Tree House, okay? Don't pick those easy ones. Think of back to like our first quarter book projects, and for Mrs. Gear and Mrs. Stamper, those type of books that you read for their book projects. So you can choose a book of your choice. For Mr. Davis, you have the choice from Of Mice and Men, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, or of course a book of your choice. I've said that. For me, you guys did a Google form a couple weeks ago, and you had the option of Of Mice and Men, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, or The Giver. So you guys chose between those. I will send you individually those books, or you can choose a book of your choice. For Mr. Rhodes, now, if you're in just Mr. Rhodes, not me and Mr. Rhodes, you're just in Mr. Rhodes' first and second period class, you are working through Nothing But the Truth that you guys have been reading for a while, or a book of your choice, and that also goes for Mrs. Rao's ELA class. And then Mrs. Stamper and Mrs. Beltran, you guys have already started on a book project book, so you're just going to continue to use that for this stuff. Okay? So please keep making sure that you are looking on Google Classroom, you're checking Google Classroom, you're emailing teachers, and please, please, please read the directions very, very carefully on these things and listen to these videos. We are more than happy to answer emails, but a lot of emails I know that I've been getting and some of your other teachers have been getting are things that can be answered by reading the directions. So please reread them, read through them, make sure you understand them, make sure you are turning things in an appropriate time. So turn as much as you can on Google Classroom. That's going to be the easiest way to do so. Those of you who do not have reliable computer access, or you're doing something on a hard copy, I know I have a lot of students who'd rather do things paper and pencil. You can take a picture of it and send it to us, email it to us. Okay, I personally have had a lot of students go, I don't know how to submit this stuff, and I've said it over and over and over again. Take a picture of the hard copies and email it to us. Okay, now keep checking Progress Book. Progress Book right now is kind of a checklist. Did you do this? Did you not do this? It is still playing a part in your grade. There will be information coming out about what that looks like from Mr. Holt later. But keep checking your progress books. If something's missing, get it turned in. Email your teacher. I know I've had a lot of emails, and my students know how messy my desk is. So my email inbox right now probably looks worse than my desk does on a regular basis. So you guys can kind of see that visual who know my desk and know my room well. So it is very easy for us to kind of lose your emails in the list of all of our other emails. So if you notice that something's missing, you know that you turned it in, you know that you submitted it, email your teacher. Let them know where you put that, because we're looking on Google Classroom, we're looking through emails. We got a lot of things coming at us. So just make sure you tell us, hey, my mom sent this from her phone, or I posted it through Google Classroom. Just tell us, we'll get it fixed, all right? You won't be penalized for missing work. I know normally you guys take a couple points off if things are late. You're not going to be penalized for missing work. At this point, let's just get the work in. We want you guys to be practicing and doing your work, okay?